Hello and welcome to India Today NE. We are here in Gauhati University, a beautiful place, and it's just 1 week left for Valentine's Day, and it's probably not a right time to discuss about politics. But general election, just 2 months away, and with India Today mood of the nation already out, I think we can make an exception. And for those who are not initiated into India Today mood of the nation, we must tell you that this exercise first began in 2001. Nowadays you would see a lot of clones, but this is the OG of all mood of the nation polls, which started 2 decades ago, more than 2 decades ago, and it's still considered the most credible uh, pulse of the nation. And today in Gauhati University, we'll discuss about not only the mood of the nation, but also mood of the Northeast. And I have with me, to my right, very interestingly, those who are from the Northeast would understand the significance of this statement. To my right is Professor Nani Gopal Mohanta from Gauhati University Political Science Department, and also he is cabinet rank holding the advisor to the education department in Assam. To my left, actually, he calls himself center of the left, Professor Dhruva Pratim Sharma, also from Guwahati University. And again, very significantly, to my left is Professor Akhil Ranjan Datta, and his attendance in Guwahati University and his work habits are monitored even by the Chief Minister of Assam. But before we go ahead, we'll first bring to you the mood of the nation. And the very first question that we ask here is that if general elections, Lok Sabha elections are held today, what will happen? Who will win? And this survey was conducted between December 15 and December 15, 2023 and January 28, the day Nitish Kumar took oath, 2024. So whatever is the result you will see today, it's based on the survey which was conducted during that time frame. So let's come to the result first. If elections are held today, NDA will win 335 seats, still less than what Prime Minister Modi is expecting, 400 seats, with 44.4% vote share. India, without Nitish and Mamta, will win 166 seats, which is 38.3% of the vote share. And others will get 42 seats with 17.3% vote share. And if we come to the parties, individual parties, BJP will get 304 seats with 39.6% vote share, which is an increase from 2019 vote share, which was over 37%. Congress at 71 seats, better performance than 2014 and 2019, expected to, with 18.9% vote share, which is a drop. And others will get 168 seats with 41.5%. These are the broad results of Mood of the Nation February 2024, which has come out in the recent edition of India Today magazine. Now I'll come to my right, Professor Nani Gopal Mohanta. I'm pretty sure he is very happy with the results. 335 seats. How do you see this? Do you think that this is a right evaluation, or you think this should have been higher, or this should have been less?
Kaushik, first of all, thank you so much. But I must begin with your dichotomization of right and leftist terminology, because all of us have got a leftist perspective, all of us have got a rightist perspective. Well, I do not want to go into the details of this right-left dichotomization, but what you have projected about the seats for NDA, I believe this is a very, I think, minimum seats that the conglomerate they are likely to get in this coming election. Why I am telling you, because last time I think it was 303. Yes. So now many people are talking about 350 plus. I believe it's very inaccurate to give an exact figure right at the moment. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it is in the right perspective. Why? Because if you look at the mood of the nation today, if you come from West Bengal, then you come to Odisha, then you come to Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, then you come to Telangana, and then you come to Kerala. All these states, the opposition these are the only areas where you have about 150 or 160 odd seats, where BJP is supposedly in a weaker position. And come to the India alliance, what happens is that this alliance is not taking place in most of the states where they do have a palpable presence. So therefore it's a negative advantage for BJP on the one hand. The areas in which you are very strong, you could not give us a unified fighting on the one hand. On the other hand, look at the Modi brand called Modi. Now what is happening today? After the Ram Mandir, I believe the mood of the nation is such that he has emerged as a single most important leader that could drive this nation. There are 3-4 factors why this data looks, I think, less. It would be more than that. Because there are 4-5 strategies. Number one, the leadership of Modi factor. Nobody, whether it is in Congress, whether it is in Bihar, nobody can match the imagination of Modi's popularity. That is number one. Number two is political strategy, political party. They reach out to the common, masses of this nation. No political party could expect this amount of popularity the way BJP is having, their alliance or their connection with the common masses of this nation. Third is Guwahati. The word I'm using is Guwahati because that is what generally made popular. But what I'm trying to see is that right from Randhan gas, right from all kinds of amenities, whether it is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, whether it is gas connection, whether it is electricity, whether it is infrastructural development, whether it is highway, internet connection, everywhere there is a huge response. Only few days back a white paper has been published, the investment in infrastructure by the UPA regime and NDA regime. I do not want to go into the statistic. So overall speaking, even in terms of reach out, in terms of economic development, in terms of political acumenship, Modi is the brand today. Nobody can match this kind of amount of popularity. So I would say both it's a negative assertion of NDA, in the sense that because the opposition cannot possibly adjourn today and the benefit goes to Modi on the one hand. On the other hand, the positive contribution of BJP and the allied partners have made this possible, that this conglomerate could reach up to 350 plus. I won't say 400 at this moment, but I believe 350 is quite possible. Thank you.
So you mean to say Timo factor, there is Modi only instead of Tina. I'm pretty sure Professor Datta is itching to give a reply to this inferences. What's your take on this number 335 and BJP getting 304 on its own?
I don't have any disagreement on the numbers that you have been talking about. And I also do not have much differences with that of the opinion or that the kind of factors that Professor Mohanto has pointed out. Let me also be very categorical that I have been associated with the electoral studies for quite a long time with CSDS, as is the case with Professor Sarma since 2001 onward. And when it comes to the issues of electoral analysis, it's neither right, neither wrong. We go by the statistics, we go by the factors, we analyze the opinion of the people. So I do not impose my ideological orientation in electoral analysis. Let me be very clear about it. If we look at the current moment, if you ask me the question, what is the mode of the nation or what is the mode of the country as a whole in terms of electoral politics, I'll say it is in favor of BJP, it is in favor of NDA. I have no doubt about this. But the factors responsible for it apparently are those factors that Professor Mohanto has pointed out. But we need to understand that these factors are also being manufactured by the political economy that we do have. That needs to be understood very clearly. Why are you emphasizing so much on infrastructure? Why are you emphasizing so much on single leadership? Pointing out, we are not talking about a collective leadership. And remember, it is not happening only in India. It is also happening all across the world. Why is it happening? Why are you emphasizing so much on stability? Why do you need so much of stability? Why do you have single party majority where you have so much of diversity? Because this is also required by kind of capitalism that we have been living in. The capitalism or corporate capitalism we call neoliberal capitalism also requires certain things to have safe investment in different countries. We need to remember, if you look at the GDP, for example, of the country, if you divide it between the government contribution and the private contribution, I think the government contribution will be very less. Look at health, for example. I am giving only one example. Look at the healthcare sector. Overall, we probably spend around 5% or 6% of GDP in the healthcare sector. 4% or 4.5% will be constituted by the private, only 1% of the GDP will be contributed by the public sector, government sector. Now, this is the overall situation. We need to remember that this is an era where we are living in is also driven by private investment, corporate investment, FDI, and so on and so forth. Unless and until you have political stability, unless and until you have a single leader whom people can trust, I'm saying whom people at least can trust, that he or she is providing the kind of leadership or kind of stability to these countries. Therefore, I do not disagree to the figures that you are telling. It might go up. It might go up. Remember, as a person from electoral studies, we see when you look at the mood of the nation, they are also very conservative in its statements. Look at the recent elections, in the state elections, almost all channels or all agencies had been little conservative. When they say that some parties are marching ahead, they'll be a bit conservative in giving the figures. Therefore, I do not disagree to the points. But for me, understanding the political economy will be very, very important.
Thank you, Professor Datta. Before I go to Professor Sarma, I'd like to ask the students here. First, raise your hands if you agree with these numbers. Do you think these numbers are more or less accurate? Raise your hands, everyone, if you think that it's accurate. Raise your hand. So almost everyone thinks. Are you happy with the fact that these are accurate numbers? Are you happy that the numbers say that Modi is coming back? So are you happy with this fact that Prime Minister Modi, if this poll is correct, is likely to get a third term? Are you happy with this fact? Agreement means you can raise your hand. How many of you are happy with? I can see only two happy. One. So you accept that Prime Minister Modi is coming back, but am I right in saying that you are not very happy about it? Then why do you think, if in this university, how many of you here? Around 15, 20? So I see only one happy. So here the majority is not happy with Prime Minister Modi coming in, but they think that he will come in. This is a kind of very surprising result here. Why is it so? What is the problem with Prime Minister Modi according to you? Anyone can mention?
See, problem is not with Modi or any other opposition leader. As we are educated, as we are going to pass out this year, so we need jobs, we need stability in our lives. That is why government has not done enough work while providing jobs to the students, those who have passes out from the universities, colleges, etc. This is the particular area where I think government has to look out and work on this. That is why, because of division of the votes among the different political parties, especially opposition parties, I think Modi will again come into power.
So you think that there is division in opposition parties, but you are unhappy that the NDA government, it hasn't been able to give you job, employment and other opportunities, right? Who do you think among the opposition leaders, do you think anyone can challenge him or can take him on, or you think that should replace Modi?
In 2024 election, I don't think any challenges will get from the opposition. Will give enough challenges to the Modi and NDA as a whole.
So basically, you are trying to say, correct me, you can correct me straight away, that Modi is coming back, but not because of his performance, but because there is no alternative. Right? All of you, right? That will make Professor Datta very happy. Yes, yes, I'll come to you. I'll come to you. Uh, After this, I will go to the Northeastern report.
Before you go to Northeast, just a quick, if I just, sorry. Well, regarding what my colleague Professor Dotto has said, he has his definitely perspective, but I'd just like to respond to a few things regarding leadership or infrastructural investment and issues of, equitable development and all. I just urge all my students and colleagues to have a look at the latest UNDP report published in 2023. It's all about multidimensional poverty. And I urge you that we should have a look at it. This report says India has made remarkable progress in the amelioration, in the eradication of poverty in last 15 years, 15, 16 years. And it has given excellent illustration. How is it possible? Now, many of us have asked this question that poverty, yes, in certain areas India has not done well, but in the multidimensional poverty reduction, particularly, those flagship programs have contributed immensely for the development and amelioration of poverty in most of the states of this country. For example, the food security program, then it was also taken up by the previous government, NRHM, followed by Ujjwala. Now you have been given the Prime Minister Awas Yojana, then you have been given toilet, then you are given electricity. So all this, then it comes to it, health insurance. All these factors, in few years back, it was unimaginable. But today, this is not just a paper thing. What Rajiv Gandhi said, only 10 or 20 paisa goes to the people, but majority of them have gone to the middleman. But here, all of these, benefits or whatever have been given to the common people or the people below living BPL line, these have been geotagged. One can physically identify whether actually these benefits have been given to the people or not. So many of us have failed to understand why Modi or the BJP or NDA is winning in spite of so many contradictions in many states. We say that poverty has increased, but why even the poor people, women are giving support? We need to understand this UNDP report, which we in the academia, we take it as a very objective report to make our analysis. That is my first point. Secondly, in this age of capitalism, I do not see any country in the world where you find a socialist pattern of investment. I fail to see that. Whether you come to China, whether you come to Russia, China, I have visited China several times, they call it market socialism. Conceptually, market and socialism is a two dichotomized world. But they made it possible through social investment, the extent it was possible. Now, no other country, I repeat, no other country in the world is as capitalist as China is. So to think about an imaginary model of socialism, I think we are stretching it too far. Yes, this is not to justify, legitimize crony capitalism, which we believe nobody can possibly do in a democratic country. Whether there are courts, if there are some maybe instances, but to replace it with an imaginary socialism is too much. We are asking in this world of capitalism, which is galore in each and every country in the world. I would be very happy to find an El Dorado if you have. Give me. Now, lastly, leadership factor. Go to West Bengal. It's the Modi, representation represented by Madam Mamta Didi. Go to Odisha. Go to even Kashmir. Go to even Delhi. Go to even South. Each and every state, people identify, whether you call it the imperialistic mentality, whether you call it a slave mentality, but the truism is people identify with a person who is strong, who has the capacity to drive people along. People do not identify with a feeble man. People do not identify with a weak personality. So we may call it autocratic, we may call it democratic, or even you look at the state, even right from the days of independence. My point is that yes, we have to believe in institutions, we have to believe in processes, but the fact is one person leads, and that happens everywhere, be it in democracy, be it in communism. Thank you.
That was quite a long answer, but I think these youngsters, they are not bothered much about the ism here. They just want jobs and employment opportunities. Am I right? And they have no problem. Do you have any problem with strong leadership? Only that you want that strong leader to give you jobs, right? Okay, we are clear here. Now we'll go to the northeastern results. Here there are 25 seats, including Sikkim, and BJP on its own are likely to win 14 seats. Allies 6 seats. So together NDA will win 20 seats in the northeastern region, 8 states. The Congress 4 seats, Congress ally no seat, and total NDA it leaves to 4 seats. Now that's quite predictable considering the overall numbers. But if we go state by state, we see the one interesting state is Manipur. In Manipur, both parties, Congress and BJP, they will win 1 seat each. But more than the electoral results, last time if I remember, NPF, that local party, had won 1, and BJP ally and BJP had won 1. So this time the NDA will lose 1 seat over there, and we have seen for 9 months violence is going on in Manipur. And we asked a question also related to Manipur, where we asked what should be done in Manipur considering the violence. So 35.5% people said that president's rule should be imposed in Manipur. 27% said that the CM and Biren Singh should be sacked, and 19.5% said that there should be a massive operation by armed forces. Now, interesting part is I'll go to the students here, because you must be reading about Manipur and what's happening. What do you think? Is it a political problem? Anyone who want to answer, do you think it's a political problem or it's genuinely an ethnic issue? Why I'm asking, I'm assuming most of you are from the Northeast and Assam, and you know ethnic issues here, how significant these issues are. Do you think it's a genuine ethnic issue, or do you think the political class has let it fester more? What do you think? What's your opinion?
This is especially a ethnic issue. More probably it's political diversity, political background is there, but it's mainly ethnic issue. There are only two groups, Metis and Kukis. And Metis are the predominant in area.
We know the history, geography, everything, but the point is that here you think there is no politics in it. It's a genuinely ethnic conflict. Agree? No. Majority agree, no, not agree. You can raise your hand. Not agree. So you think it's a political conflict. One thing that opposition parties keep raising, that the Prime Minister should come there. Do you all agree that the Prime Minister should have gone there? How many of you think that way? Raise your hand. The majority here, they think that the Prime Minister should have gone to Manipur. He can still go, right? But do you think that opposition parties, the Congress or the other opposition parties that are there, they can find an effective solution? They would be any better than BJP? Any of you? You think that the other parties would be better in resolving this issue? Or you think the entire political class, they are same? Same? So you have no faith in the opposition class also. So that's where Prime Minister again has the advantage. Even if he doesn't go there, the voters are unlikely to go to the other side. We also have another interesting question. We'll not go state by state in Northeast, because there are not many seats, and in most seats, as you have seen, that BJP has the upper edge, or the allies. For instance, in Meghalaya, the NPP will have 1 seat. In Arunachal, BJP will have 2 seats. In Nagaland, NDPP BJP ally will have 1 seat, and in Sikkim, SKM will have 1 seat. There is only 1 seat over there. And in Tripura, BJP will retain its 2 seats. So there is not much change. We'll come to an interesting subject, which is the most popular chief minister in the country. And we do it 2 ways. We ask all the respondents, as many respondents we cover, about their preferred CM across the country. We ask them to choose among the 30 CMs that the country has. And then we ask them to rate the performance of their own chief minister. Now first I will come to the chief minister who is the most popular CM. The most popular CM across all countries, across the country, is for 8 consecutive times it's Yogi Adityanath. That's where he stands. Yogi Adityanath has a popularity rating of 46.3%. His next contestant, the second highest rating, has gone to Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal, who gets only 19.6%. So there is a massive gap. Among the northeastern CM, we have only Himanta Biswa Sarma. He got only 2%. So that's not a very high performance in terms of overall popularity in the country. But when it comes to home state, we have some surprises. The most popular CM across the country is Nabin Patnaik. Imagine, he has been chief minister for 5th record times and might win the 6th term. If you go by the popularity, he has 52.7% popularity. So that means 52.7% respondents in Odisha have said that they are satisfied with his performance. Yogi Adityanath, this is a surprise because last time he was 7th or 6th. This time he is 51.3% backing him. He is the number 2 and number 3 from the northeast. Another BJP poster boy, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, who has got a popularity rating of 48.6%, which places him at number 3. Now, I haven't asked this question. Professor Sarma, how do you see Dr. Sarma's performance? Do you think that his popularity, the way it has been projected here within his home state, is reflective of his popularity, or you think it's less or it's higher? I'm asking you because on my right, as I said, right, on my left, so I am asking the central person.
Yes, yes. I think it is. It is. Maybe 46 is slightly on the lower side because I think he would tend to have more popularity because you know that one thing he keeps saying himself, that there is a 65-35 division in the state. That means there is undoubtedly a polarization. The extent of polarization you may not find in other states. That is, if during our surveys, I have been conducting CSDS surveys for the decade and a half. We find that in a constituency where Hindus constitute 65%, Muslims are somewhere around 35%, you find the vote division is almost similar, on similar lines, which you may not find in a state like Rajasthan or MP because the factors, a lot of factors are there. But in case of Northeast, you also have to understand that the dominant player in the earlier years was Congress. Once Himanta Biswa Sarma moved from Congress to BJP, he actually made a big hole in the Congress. There was a huge gap in the Congress, and Congress is at its weakest position in the state or even in the region right now. And although you find that the problem for Congress is not at the state level, the problem for Congress is at the center. It has the weakest leadership during the past decade. In the Congress in Delhi is at its weakest in the past decade. So you find that even where Congress has won in various places of India, it is because of the local leadership, the state leadership, not because of the central leadership. And you will find that a win at the state level, whether if we leave Northeast out, whether it is Himachal or Karnataka in the state assembly election, does not mean that Congress will win the Lok Sabha in those states. It may still mean a win for BJP in Karnataka so far as the Lok Sabha is concerned, a win for BJP in Himachal, even though that state is ruled by Congress at present. Even in state like Delhi, you may find that that although that state is ruled by Aam Aadmi Party, that enjoys seemingly enjoys huge popularity. At the time of that tsunami which is coming, which is the Lok Sabha election, you may find that tsunami will wipe out many of these opposition opposition, and in the Lok Sabha, because there is a who is the PM candidate, that matters a lot. So you find that opposition, whether if you see India, most probable, the India alliance, you will find most probable PM candidate is Rahul Gandhi. Whether we like it or not, whether they openly say it or not, it is Rahul Gandhi. And what you can imagine what type of status does Rahul enjoy when you compare it with Narendra Modi, the stature that matters a lot, whether we like it or not. So Himanta Biswa Sarma, he enjoys, especially at the time of election, I believe that his popularity as a CM may reach close to 60%, and that also reflects the type of population structure, because of various reasons there has been a polarization along religious lines, especially in Assam. It may not be the case in the neighboring states also. So that is what I believe. Thank you.
Yes, his popularity could have reached 60%. You are right, because when we did this survey in August 2022, his popularity rating was 63.4%. In January 2023, it was 68.3%. August 2023, it's 49.2%. It dropped in the year of 2023, and now it's 48.6%. Though he is at number 3, it's because other CMs are performing even worse. So though he is still very popular, we see a drop in his popularity in his home state. So who will answer this? I'll ask Professor Mahanta. Why do you think Dr. Sharma's popularity has dropped?
Well, I do agree with what Professor Sarma has talked about. You have to look into the population dynamics. I do not know the methodology of your entire sample size or whatever. I do not want to question that. But regarding interpretation, I basically do not agree with that. That it has reduced substantially. That point doesn't behold precisely because, I have seen the popularity of Jubin Garg, Papan. But today, this persona called Himanta Biswa Sarma, he has actually bypassed all the current popular stalwarts, be it in music, be it in politics, or you just name it, any field, the way all sections of the society, whether it is women, whether it is children, whether it is youth, all sections of the society, bearing a few section, I would argue, the popularity has been galloping, even not increasing, it's galloping. You have to see the, current mood of the people on the street. Even, those people who are generally said to be excluded from the purview of Himanta Biswa Sarma's popularity range or the fulcrum. But even if only few days back, there was a video which got viral. It went into millions and millions, where Chief Minister had a conversation with the young stars, young boys and boys from madrasa. And the way they had conversed, their curriculum, what are the courses they have been taught, and the way they had conversed with Chief Minister, it exemplifies a very miniature form of the popularity of Himanta Biswa Sarma that has been growing at this point of time. And secondly, I am telling you, because now he is not only a state leader of Assam, he is already a leader of the Northeast. Now his popularity, the saga has been becoming pan-Indian. Even whether you like it in the North India, South India, even if you Karnataka to the Andhra Pradesh, you will see the presence of Himanta Biswa Sarma. So, Kaushik, I do not agree with the statistics that you have demonstrated. Yes, it depends on where have you taken your interview. But generically speaking, my observation is that right at the moment today, at the national level, at the macro level, at the micro level, he is the most popular person. I may dislike him. I may have disagreements with him. It is because of his immense popularity that he is emerging as the pan-Indian leader, which many people argue is among the top 3-4 personalities of this country today in terms of political popularity.
Professor Datta, there is no doubt that Dr. Sarma is popular in this part of the country, at least, though his popularity, as I can see, I stay in Delhi and I can see his popularity also growing in across India. considering that he's so popular, how do you define his popularity? Why I'm asking you this question, that you are a known critic of Dr. Sharma, but even then you also accept this fact that today he is a popular leader in the state, at least the, you can say, the number one leader in the state. What makes him so popular across class? I have seen in Assam.
Okay. Then let me be very clear that I am a critic of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma because of his policies, because of his politics. But
we are talking about
yes,
politics.
yes. But his level of popularity, I don't have any disagreement on that. But how has he become so popular? That needs to be understood. First of all, he has understood the popular psyche. That's very important. Look at the bureaucracy, for example. If you think in terms of moving to a deputy commissioner's office, what happens to the local, very common people? Can they really enter the deputy commissioner's office? Bureaucracy is so regimented. Now, when common people see that a bureaucrat, a deputy commissioner is also treated like a common person, then it immediately creates an impression about the leadership of Dr. Himanta Biswa. Whether that is good or that is bad, as a political scientist, probably I'll have different opinion. Also look at his flexibility. I think that's very important. The kind of flexibility that he does have. I can tell you, even his opposition, I was looking at the proceedings of the Assam Legislative Assembly today. The way, he can also reach out the critic. Look at what happened in Sibsagar, for example, in Ronghor, when the project was inaugurated. We all of you know that Akhil Gogoi is a very strong critic, probably the strongest critic of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. But then the way he could reach out, I think that kind of flexibilities Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has, which none of we can disagree on that. But we also need to remember, whom does he consider to be his strongest critic? That needs to, if you look at the social media today, social media is transformed. But then what is the percentage of people who are very active in the social media? Very conscious sections of the society, but very minority, microscopic minority. If you look at the social media, it's changing like anything. Earlier, when Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma was giving an update, all time you'll see a lot of appreciation. Now you see more criticisms than the appreciation. But the point is, they don't decide the destiny of a chief minister. They do not constitute the majority. Now, how has he become majority? One, yes, his flexibility, as I have mentioned, he can reach out everybody. That never happened. Torun Gogoi was also very popular. But then Torun Gogoi couldn't reach out like Dr. Himanta Biswa has been reaching out. Particularly, remember, he has also identified the categories whom he should reach out. One, the youth, also the children and the elderly generation of people. When he meets, for example, elderly women, he'll be hugging.
Who is left then?
Oh, who is that is the point I am telling. Yes, but among them, if you look at, yes, he is living out, and in a very calculative way, he is living out. Should I say
Yes,
middle
go
class? No. Should I say, means, how do I frame it? The middle class. The educated middle class who happens to be his critics. He knows that they don't constitute the majority. Why should they be appeased, or why should their opinion be taken into consideration? So I think the kind of politics that he is doing, that is, and also look at the populist schemes. That is, if you look at the Arunodaya scheme, what is the total population of Assam? It will be 3.5 crore or something like that. It has gone up to 2.7 crore. If you can reach out the people through state subsidies by providing 30 or 10 kgs of rice or 5 kgs of rice to one person and 35 kgs of rice to a family, and if the total number yes? Food scheme, yeah, under National Food Security Act, if it can reach out 2.7 crore of population out of the 3.5 or 3.6 crore of population, how do you expect his popularity will definitely move up? I think these factors are there. One is his personal leadership and flexibility, and the second is the popular schemes that the government has been launching. So, as a critic, I have been criticized at policy level. I am critical of it because you are providing too much of these populist schemes, whether those will be sustainable after a certain time or not. Is it making the economy or their means of livelihood sustainable or not? Okay.
I have a counter question.
Yes.
You say that he has become popular because of his welfare schemes,
Okay.
all this outreach program. But he is not popular today only after becoming the CM. Could become CM because he was already popular. He is probably the only BJP leader, state leader, who actually snatched a chair.
Yeah.
So, and that happened because of his popularity. Do you think for 20 years before he became the CM, he was in politics, active politics, at least for 20 years, just by gimmick, just by outreach, doing this outreach, or just by being flexible, he could become popular? Don't you think you need performance to sustain popularity for that long? This
Oh, yes. Then,
Yes.
please.
Actually, I think Himanta Biswa Sarma is a PhD in political science, but more than he is a PhD in practical politics. He has mastered the art of Sam, Kam, Dandha, Bhed, which all the arts involved in statecraft. So that where it is necessary to use force, he will do that, or threat of force, he will do that, and he does that very effectively. And where there is a need to give benefits to the people, and we must note that that old statement of Rajiv Gandhi, where he said that that if we give 100 rupees, only 10 rupees, yes, 1 rupee maybe it reaches the poor. So that is avoided by introducing direct beneficiary schemes. So which means that people in far flung areas, remote regions are also getting benefits, which is actually, I think, a good thing. I mean, and politics of beneficiary is not there only in Assam, not there only in BJP ruled states. You may find more of it in the south. Yes, Tamil Nadu, very glaring example. So you find that there is this politics of beneficiary is one of the very important factors, especially when that money actually reaches the public.
If you have to point out
yes.
one factor, just one factor about, and in a short sentence, one factor that you think is the center of Himanta Biswa Sarma's popularity, if you have to define one thing.
I think it's his personality.
You had to make a point, but
Yeah.
briefly, please.
Okay, okay. I just would like to draw your attention only what had happened yesterday. I mean, although he has some, opposition, or he is rather skeptical to certain issues raised by opposition, I just give you two examples that happened yesterday. One was an opposition leader said that I have given complaint against so and so principal of a school, and he committed this kind of crime, and no action has been taken. Then and there, in the assembly itself, Himanta Biswa Sarma has instructed our Honorable Education Minister that secondary education director should be held responsible and action should be initiated, and this veracity should be founded then and there, number one. Then in the morning we had another meeting with our honorable VCs and principals regarding our incorporation of we have very low GR at national level. Now the way he had addressed all principals or even the director, it was instructed that if by the first month of next month, if this is not filled up, then the salary of the director will be halted. So what I am trying to say is the alertity, is the promptness of action that he initiates, number one. Number two, those programs to be said that these are all populist measures will actually it will not do justice. Why I am telling you, there is a structural difference. For example, during Congress time, it was distribution of huta kombal, it said, blankets and other nets and all. So this was more commodity distribution, which was essentially contractor driven. But that contractor driven, it actually elicits corruption. It elicits red tapeism. But this DBT, now it is Arunodaya scheme, which has been adopted by Karnataka actually. This has been adopted by Madhya Pradesh. So our officers have gone there to train them. So what I am trying to say, there is a difference between contractor driven beneficiary program and the program which directly goes on the 10th of every month to the ladies, and they find it terrible. I mean, they empowered. Number one. Number two, if you say again beneficiary scheme, what are those schemes? Even you look at the, I think 2 lakh amount of crore have been,
We are
I mean,
running short of
yeah,
time,
okay,
so
okay, I'll
we will
give,
not get into that. I have to ask these students. So, how happy are you with the performance of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma? Raise your hand if you are happy. All of you together, raise your hand. So it's a 100% performance rating for Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. So recently you saw there is a conflict between Himanta Biswa Sarma and Rahul Gandhi when this Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra was happening in Assam. Do you think the way they did the tutu meme and they said nasty things about each other, do you think it was right? How many of you think it was right? Do you find that it was wrong on the part of both sides, or you think that one side instigated it? I'm asking you to raise hands. What's your opinion about both sides wrong? So it's a very hypothetical question. Rahul Gandhi and Prime Minister Modi, if tomorrow you have to choose one leader, and so you have no other option, who would you choose? Raise your hand if it is Rahul Gandhi. One person. All of you who want to choose Rahul Gandhi, raise your hands together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually, right? And rest of you, Modi. So Modi is rest. Still the majority here also, but do you think Rahul Gandhi's this Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, do you think it has made any impact on his popularity? Yes? Majority yes? No? No impact. You support Rahul Gandhi and still you think? Okay. That's very interesting. I would like to know your view. Why do you think you support Rahul Gandhi but you think that this Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra doesn't make any difference to his popularity or his impact on people? Why?
Well, I don't think it's a dichotomy between Modi and Rahul Gandhi all the time, although it is made to be seem so because of the political climate of the country. But at the same time, as our honored professors have already pointed out, the Congress has totally failed to address the beneficiary kind of thrust that the citizens of the country have gotten, have gotten into, so to speak. Although you can say that it is the rise of Hindutva, but at the same time, you cannot deny the other aspect which comes with, when you get the DBTs directly to the, even in my own village, I have seen that most of the women folk, regardless of the ethnicity, regardless of religion, have become main votaries of the BJP. Because they think that if the party is not in power tomorrow, they will not get the DBT schemes as they have been getting till now. So,
Okay.
Okay, can I have, or
Yeah.
you want to give? Yeah.
I'll go to students only. This is student.
Yes, yeah.
So another hypothetical question. Rahul Gandhi versus Himanta Biswa Sarma. If you have to choose one leader, who? Raise your hand if it is Himanta Biswa Sarma. Majority. Even the Rahul Gandhi supporter has come back. So that's very interesting. So when it's Modi versus Rahul Gandhi still has some chance here in the northeastern part. But if it is Modi versus Himanta Biswa Sarma, he has no chance. That's what.
Rahul versus.
Sorry, Himanta Biswa Sarma versus Rahul Gandhi. Then Rahul Gandhi has no chance in northeast. Thank you so much. It was a long chat, long conversation with the professors and students of Gauhati University Political Science Department. And I must tell you, today this whole program was planned by Dr. Navani Gopal Mahanta. And most interestingly, when he invited Akhil Ranjan Datta, he very happily came and joined this. Though on the outside they may look like two individuals.
That needs to be made
Two,
clear.
I'm making that clear only. They look like two individuals on the on extreme side of the spectrum, but the rest of the country, the intellectuals, they should understand, they should learn from these two individuals and the students here. They have their differences, but they can still sit together and without any bitter discourse, they can discuss and debate and reach to a conclusion. Thank you so much for watching this. This was India Today NE, and please do read India Today magazine, latest issue, February 19th, for the entire India Today Mood of the Nation poll results. There are many other interesting results out there. This will give you a sense of how the nation is thinking right at the moment. Thank you so much.